There's the whites. Seems like almost every year the reds always yield a little bit better than the whites. This one's pretty full. So now that potatoes are done, we're moving on to cantaloupe and watermelon. I think we've picked about 12 to 15 bins off this patch so far. We'll see how many more we get after today. Won't be too long, the second patch will be on. So it's a kind of a good thing, but there's not near as many cantaloupe out here that are ready or just green, needing to be picked in like a couple days. So that just goes to show you that this pass is just about over with. All these yellow ones that we're not picking are usually kind of funky. They look something like this, kind of like dried out. Not that you couldn't get any good off of them, but we already have so many that we'd like to sell the best of them first. Something like this is nice. So all these here, right next to the wagon, are honeydew, but they're not quite ready. As you can see, there's not many cantaloupe out there at all. They're about done now. We did get 2 full bins and a little more. And we're gonna finish off with 1 bin of seeded yellow watermelon.
I would say anything big. Out the other end, they're big. We'll get these off.
I'm okay, I don't want to. Is it overripe? Here. There's 1 or 2 right down there by your feet, and then.
Well, if I went out to keep catching.
Home?
Yep.
So now that we're back to the shed, there's our bin of seeded yellow watermelon. A couple cantaloupe that we couldn't fit in the cooler. This is the watermelon picking from last time, which is a mixture of seedless yellow and seedless red. Mom's putting onions through right now. Dad's backing in with eggplant and bell peppers. And then here in the cooler, we just got done washing the red and white potatoes. This is the bin of cantaloupe we brought back from market on Monday. That's the bin of cabbage that's going to market tomorrow. Those 2 bins back there is what we picked today. And then these 8 bins are from the previous picking of cantaloupe. So tomorrow, when we're loading, we'll take this bin of cantaloupe maybe even 2 more bins of the older stuff, which is still perfect. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Cantaloupe stays really nice if you keep it cool. If you keep it outside, what's gonna happen is it'll ripen quick. And so then here we have red seedless watermelon, and this is what we brought back from market yesterday. So as you can see, the cooler is extremely full. We can't fit much more in it. This is some of the first true red bell of the season. Just a couple, but that means they're coming on. This is also some of the first, at least that I have seen, nice hard-shelled Italianelle and Cubanelle, and he even got some red ones of those as well. Here's the green bell. These are getting nice and blocky now. For the most part, there is still some cone-shaped ones, but that's about as perfect as it gets. People like them to stand straight up for stuffing. And don't ask me what you stuff them with, because I really don't know. So Dad just left for market. Mom and I are coming out here to the zucchini patch to start off. We're gonna see what we can get. These zucchini weren't picked for like 3 or 4 days. We like to pick them every 2 days. So we're afraid we're gonna get some absolute monsters, but we're gonna pick them off. We also have rain coming. If you can see way out there, the mountain's like whitish. And that basically just lets us know the rain is coming. Look at the size of that guy. When they get to be too big, they don't fit in the box. This one just barely does. Oh, Daisy's out.
What?
Daisy's out.
Is Lily out too?
I don't think so.
I didn't think they'd be there.
So we got zucchini done, and we were kind of in a hurry because it was looking like rain. And we then loaded up for Mom for the farm market, took all her produce out there, unloaded it. I just came back and it's still not raining. So I figure I'll come in here for a little bit and pick some tomatoes. But I really should be cultivating the late season cole crops. But I'm afraid to get that tractor out and head down over the hill and then have it start raining. So I'm gonna kill a little more time in here. If it doesn't start raining in the next like 25 minutes, I'm just gonna send it and I'm gonna go down, and by then it will probably start raining and I'll get soaked, but I can't hold it off forever. There really is not many red ones, but that's not my goal for today. I'm after green. Something like this. Uh-oh. I think I hear rain. It is raining. Okay, well, now my boxes are gonna get wet. I'm glad I didn't go. This is a beautiful rain. If it would do this for like the next 2-3 hours, give us like 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch of rain, nice, slow, soaking in, that would be like all we could ask for all the produce and crops and everything like that. Figures I go park the Kubota in the shed, close up all the doors, and now it's done already. Mom just gave these guys some fertilizer again, so that should help make them grow and take off, because it seems like they were starting to slow down a little bit. And when you have this big of a plant producing this many tomatoes, you gotta keep feeding it or it's just not gonna grow. I got my 4 boxes. I got a red here, a red here, or like, I guess you'd say like red and orange. And then underneath those are the green ones. So that's it for tomato picking. Yesterday, the last job we did for the day, which I did not show, was go back and replant strawberries. We had about 1,800 plugs left over after the entire field was finished. But as you already seen, our bare roots did not do well. So we were basically just going back over those 3 rows, or mostly like 2.5, getting those planted in. I think it takes around 2,200 a row, 2,400, something like that. And we had 1,800 plants left. So we knew we wouldn't be able to fill all those rows with new plants, but we were gonna do our best. So it's the next day. Dad just left for Wilkes-Barre Market. He didn't do real good at Scranton yesterday. I guess it rained like all day long and it just kept customers away. I wish it would have rained that much here. I think we got like 3/10 or something like that. So at least it was cloudy and everything kind of like soaked in and didn't just, evaporate right off. But I would have liked more, but I'll take anything we can get. And so I'm just making my list now for what we need for Scranton tomorrow and just to kind of get us through the weekend. So like we need all onions, we need red, we need white, we need yellow. I know I need to pick tomatoes. I know I picked some yesterday, but I'm gonna need to pick more. Like that was kind of just for like the farm market and for today. I gotta check our bell pepper situation. Red beets are for sure, but I'm alone on the farm today. One of the workers called off at the farm market, so Mom's out there at the moment, and obviously Dad's at Wilkes-Barre. We have to pick cantaloupe and watermelon. If you guys haven't already and you like the videos, don't forget to hit that like button and please subscribe. I think we're just over 60,000. Next milestone is 75,000, and then hopefully, eventually, one day, we're gonna get to 100,000. The pumpkins are looking pretty good. We weren't sure with them being on a side hill in that drought how they'd fare, but I think because they were so small, it actually helped them out. And now that they got some water, they're really doing good. The whole middle section is now out of the ground, which you've seen me in a video or 2 ago get these dug up. But now all these are dug up and they got rained on, which obviously isn't ideal, but it is what it is. Boy, the ground's pretty wet. I mean, it's not like kicking to your feet muddy, but it's wet. Oh God. Well, these clippers are absolute junk. We have a couple different kinds of clippers on the farm. Somehow we always find them to go missing. Like we had lots more, but I don't know what happened. But anyway, these guys are like the junkiest ones, but when it comes to cutting stuff like onions, they work really good. These are like a bypass clipper that work great for when you're picking like pumpkins or eggplant. But these guys, when you're doing something like very like limp, like the top of an onion, it's nice to have these guys because it just like pinches it and cuts it. These guys just kind of like fold it over. We already have, I think, just about 100 or over 100 baskets in storage. But because we want to get these out of the ground, Dad said just come down here and grab a basket or 2 or 3. That way we can leave them in there until we're ready for them later into the fall. Also, I don't really mind picking onions when they're this nice. All these onions are like enormous. I don't know when I'll ever stop talking about it. Just everything was right. The right amount of water in the beginning of the season. I think when we side dressed them, that was like perfect timing. And then obviously they were done growing before we got this real bad drought, which was a huge help. I guess I lied. These clippers aren't a lot better. I'm mostly ripping it, I think, more than anything. It just, actually those are pretty good. Yeah, they're good. What happens is once the onions are left in the ground too long, they'll get looks like this. It'll get like gunky, slimy, and it depends on how much time you want to spend peeling that down. It will eventually get good, but as you can see, we have so many onions that an onion here and there like that is just gonna get left in the field. So I didn't start all the way at the end, but you can see just back there is where I started, and I cleaned them all the way up through here. I got 3 baskets so far, now working on my 4th. And I found that the easiest, fastest way is to go through, pull the tops off, and then go through and shuck them. I love when they peel just to where you get like that golden layer. I don't really like to see that white on them, like when you peel them down too close. But like that right there is beautiful. All of the red and white onions are now out of the ground. It's just the candy, which is the yellow, and the sweet Spanish up there, which is getting pretty weedy now. Doing a little drive around here. All of these corn stalks have been ripped clean of their ears from the deer or coon, but I'm thinking more deer. Like literally every single stalk on this outside row is bare. So back here in the barn, here is the onions. And this is just some, not even close to all of them. Kind of cool though, with the different colors. Really nice, dried out good, not rotting by any means. This is all the whites left for the season. This is all the reds left for the season. And obviously, as you've seen, we have at least like quadruple what we have here in yellow. Probably way more than that even. Still have some garlic here on the shelves. And then over here, Carlos and Jose have been really going to town on all these tables. As you can see, they're emptied off. We just about have this section done. Right here is 5 baskets. And then they'll get started on all of this here. But you can't also forget that we have, I think, I don't know, we're gonna plant like 10,000. So we have to save 10,000 divided by 5. We have to save like 2,000 bulbs. That way we can replant ourselves for the following season. So that's a good array of onions. This should get us through Friday and Monday. That way we don't have to wash over the weekend again. Every time I come in here and I see these fire pits, kind of gives me like a little bit of like a stomach ache, because it makes me miss the corn maze. If you've been following along for a long time, you'll know that that was kind of a sore topic. I put a lot of my heart, soul, time, effort, not just me, but Sammy. And to have that shut down is a shame. A lot of people have asked me, am I gonna do it again? Well, if I was gonna do it again, I'd have to have it here on the farm, which would take away some of our produce, like land, but the opportunity to make a lot of money off of it is pretty good. But it's also a lot of work, and we don't have any power, any hookups. That would all have to be put in. So maybe one day in the future. Sammy and I actually talked about having a strawberry festival in the 2026 season from these strawberries that we're planting now. But because they're not doing as good as we'd like them to, who knows if that's gonna even happen. Also, I don't wanna start a strawberry festival and have it end in the same year. So if we're gonna be done with strawberries, I'm not even gonna attempt to start it at all.